Hello. I don't know if a cookbook has ever in the history of the world had an audiobook version, but I think maybe it could be a thing. And I really do love the sound of my own voice. Golly, I do. So I thought I'd record my introduction to Baking Fixes Everything and then run a poll to see if anyone would be interested in an audio version of this. So, here we go. Introduction. When I was 19 and a first-year drama student, my boyfriend of 3 entire months and the first sort of man I'd ever seen sort of naked broke up with me to be with a girl he had to kiss in the Chekhov play we were all studying that term. My responses were many and various. Firstly, I cried and wailed for a long time. I had a term and a half of voice projection training at this point, which made me quite efficient, until my flatmate told me she'd call the police if I didn't shut up, though to be fair, it was very late at night and she was a monster. Secondly, I created an imaginary boyfriend in my head who was away in the military in order to comfort myself. This worked rather better than you might expect, disturbingly. Thirdly, I invited friends over to my student flat and baked a cheesecake. When it was cooked, I took it out of the oven and accidentally dropped it face down onto the not clean kitchen floor. And I cried again as I realised that there was no way I could serve this cheesecake to my friends, now that it had the fibres from the floor's orange wiry carpet tiles stuck all over its pale and formerly smooth surface. So there, I suppose, is evidence that baking can't actually mend a broken heart. But only because the cheesecake ended up inedible, surely. Perhaps, dear scientists, this is the exception that proves the rule. If your baking provides you with a thing you can actually eat at the end of it, perhaps it does fix every one of life's challenges. To this end, I just got my diaries out for the last couple of years and considered the crises I'd encountered during this eventful period. And I realised that for every one of these events, my solution had been to bake. Baking is a gentle physical activity that keeps us in the moment. It provides yet more distraction and comfort when we can eat the results of our work later. When we share what we produce with other people, we can pass on that pleasure and comfort, which enhances our own. Baking also offers you the chance to withhold the fruits of your labour from caddish ex-boyfriends and the like. In my 3rd year of drama school, I made a chocolate cake to celebrate the last day of term, and I gave some to everyone except him. By this time, dear reader, he dated every single woman he'd had a kissing scene with, like Brad bloody Pitt. So don't feel bad for him, he didn't deserve my cake, or indeed my virginity, which he didn't get either. So, join me in this romp through my favourite recipes, some from my childhood, some the results of experiments when I was a drama student with an imaginary Special Forces boyfriend, and some which I created more recently, specifically to feed my fellow fetish performer friends. Possibly, you may feel that a recipe book, which includes scones to feed one's new BDSM co-performer and spare husband, gingerbread to bake in the event of being stalked by an ex-photographer, and a suety pudding to cure post-shoot subdrop is a bit too niche to be of use to you. Open your mind, though, babe. Maybe the addition of a handful of blueberries to the pudding will help you out of your mortgage crisis, or using a heart-shaped cutter instead of a man-shaped one for your gingerbread will help cure your toxic masculinity. We just don't know, do we? We don't. FYI, friends, I don't care very much about exact measurements, or timings, or oven temperatures. Neither should you. All will be well, even if you don't have kitchen scales. I didn't have any all the way through drama school, and I often can't be bothered to use them now because of the cursed extra washing up. I cook everything in an Aga these days, where you can't control the temperature anyway, so I assure you that your oven will do fine too. Righty-ho, off we go. Let's get started on making delicious things to solve all ills.